Don Kincaid here, Center Ring and the Kincaid Files. I am at Dunkin' Donuts. I'm supposed to interview TJ Howell III, and his dad, TJ Howell II, informed me that I had to go to Dunkin' Donuts and buy on my own, with my own money. He's privileged, and he's making me pay for his coffee. So I had to get some stupid caramel mocha something light with almond milk crap. What is he, a girl? And hey, I am no caddy. I can't believe he's treating me like such. My name is TJ Howell III. I need a light mocha almond something or another. Ugh. Caddy, I don't know how you deal with it.
This is the privileged TJ Howell III, and this is Stirring the Pot with caddy number 2, Don Kincaid.
This is an oration from the benefactor of the trust fund, Jared Silberkleit. And this is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid, who has graduated to being an upper middle classer, but he will never be trust fund approved.
This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and my very special guest.
Very privileged.
Hey, you're cutting me off already, sir? Okay. My very special guest.
Yeah.
TJ Howell III. And where'd you say we're at?
Well, you said this was a part of the Howell Estates, but this is just Consuela's house.
Wait,
This is actually like considered our pool house, and like
all of this is Consuela's house?
Yes.
So this isn't even the real deal.
No.
So you invited me to this
Yeah, you have.
lower, like, locale?
Yeah.
I want to get in the Estates, baby.
This is the lowest income place.
I should have known. I mean, for real. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is really nice out here. It's a beautiful day outside. We're testing out some new equipment today.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it's going to come out absolutely fantastic. So I never know where to start because, hey, we're totally unscripted.
Well, let me ask you: is this a shoot or are we going gimmick?
You know what? We could, you or anybody that's on Stirring the Pot could give us a roller coaster ride. But what I do is I try to peel back the entertainment just a little bit. Even a lot of it, if you want. I'll how much you want to disclose. We'll see where that goes.
We'll predict which one I am.
Okay. And if you want to, give us a ride for the fans, that's your choice.
Yeah, they can guess who I am.
What I try to do is peel it back a little bit and try to get. Who is TJ Howell? Are you looking at your watch already?
I'm sorry.
Sir?
I'm
Come
sorry.
on.
It's vibrating.
Well, hey, that's for another show. Anyhow, Mr. TJ Howell, I really have to appreciate you inviting me to Consuela's. You know what? I'm gonna edit that out. Never mind. Your time is very valuable.
Yeah, and thank you for the coffee, by the way.
Boy, wait till you see that.
And you actually made it right. Something that you're already doing better than my caddy.
Your caddy.
You're gonna be caddy too.
Now, can we just start right there? Because there was mentions and behind the scene that one evening at Test of Strength, there was mentions of Kincaddy. Do you remember that?
Kincaddy.
Kincaddy.
It's just caddy too.
I think Kincaddy's very clever.
It is clever, but caddy too.
I don't care for it. There was something going on, and we were talking, and Kincaddy came up. Now, caddy too. Don't listen to him. And
Kincaddy.
Yeah, I would never get in the ring though because your caddy. He may not be all that bright upstairs.
No, not at all.
But man, can that boy get in the ring and take a little something from Mr. TJ Howell.
That's all he does for me.
So let's just continue and start there. TJ Howell has he's evolved over the time at Test of Strength. If I may just put that out there, Test of Strength, correct?
Yep.
Now that you're at TJ Howell III...
You're being interrupted.
And this is one of the most beautiful dogs I've ever seen. Very privileged, my dad.
Yeah, very.
Do you call him? Is it a him?
Yeah, it's him.
It's
Yeah.
him, the privileged one, low key.
L-O-K-I, by the way. L-O-K-I.
Specifically,
Yeah.
this guy, beautiful, privileged.
Oh, thank you. He gets it from his dad.
Slobbering all over him. The caddy is part of your evolution.
Yep.
As TJ Howell III. I've seen you in a couple different aspects of your career, and I have to say right now is definitely the most fun that I think you're having. I hate to speak for, Mr. the privileged one.
Yeah.
But as a fan, we are having a blast. The pink shorts, the blue shirt, the sunglasses, I think almost actually finish it, except we get down to the footwear, and he's sporting those TJ Shark socks.
Well, actually, mine are the exclusive Shark socks. You can get the actual TJ Howell Shark socks at Heel Shit Apparel. HS Apparel, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. You could speak freely. You could speak freely here. I mean, this is Stirring the Pot. We say what we want.
Absolutely.
Let's not get carried away. I mean, there is your privileged family around. And let's go back if we can, because I'm really interested. Ooh. Because you're not an older wrestler. You're younger. But you've spent a little time wrestling right now, so let's take this back. And if you could pardon me for a minute, I just got to check on something real quick. So if you want to start real quick, I mean, where did TJ Howell come from? We'll get to the TJ Howell III, but where did you start and what kind of time?
So you want my starting in the wrestling business? Yeah,
if you could, please.
So, all right, as we know, my second persona of three, oh Lord, TJ Johnson was a baseball player, and that's who I am outside of here. Like, if we're gonna shoot, like, outside of the world of wrestling, my sport is baseball, and I played it my whole life. This is still something I play now. Like, I just had, I have games usually every weekend. Obviously, wrestling now comes first, with that being just a fun league, and wrestling is the real deal. But
so you're balancing both the baseball and.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, like, wrestling wins all the time with that, but it's just how it is.
Yeah.
This was, God, like, I can't remember the exact year it was, but I remember when Slick was still in Waterbury, and I had gone to Norma's gym, and I had seen the sign up for wrestling, and I was like, oh, that's cool, like, they're training. And I was always a fan. Like, I was going to Northeast Wrestling a lot, and
good stuff.
All the local stuff to hear in Waterbury. And one of the days that I was hanging out with one of my best friends since, like, pre-K. I'm talking about, he was my preschool bully.
Really?
Walked into kindergarten, saw him, and we became best friends. He's been my lifelong best friend ever since. Marcus, you know who you are. So he had started training with Slick. And this was back when it was just the originals. Like, Ty Shine was the first student. You had Johnny Ramirez. You had Jim Dobrik. You had, Nunzio. I think it was Nunzio. I forget what his name is, but there was only a few. And he had asked me a bunch of times. He was like, "You should come down. You should come down." And, I was always busy with work, and I was like, "Yeah, let me see what I can do," because I've always loved wrestling. Like, wrestling is, like, no matter what stage of my life I was in, if people were embracing it, hating on it, whatever it was, I was always a wrestling fan. I'd come home Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Thursday, whenever the shows were on Sundays, I would come home, I'd watch wrestling. So finally one day I decided, because one of my baseball games got rained out, I was like, I'm coming down. So I came down, and Marcus hadn't even been there that day, and Slick goes, "Yep, you get 2 free classes." That's when we were just Tuesday and Thursday back in Watertown.
So how long ago was that about?
I'll be honest with you. That's got to be like 4, maybe 5 years ago. Upcoming on.
Okay, all right.
So, I was working down the road from it at the time, so it's just easy for me to leave work and go there and train.
So if we could just backtrack a little bit, your baseball game got canceled.
Yeah.
And you were very active in baseball.
Oh yeah, always.
And that got canceled, so you decided, hey, I'm just gonna go to training.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I stepped in the ropes, and I had good old Ty Shine there. I had Johnny Ramirez. I had Jim. I had I had a few other exclusive people. Like I remember Tommaso Terra was there. You know, and I kind of just got in the ring and I was like, wow, like I love this. Like, you know, all I was doing was learning exits and bumping for the first time. And you know, I look at like when all these kids come into training now and they get their first like taste of the ring, and sometimes they get steered away from it. Like when I got in the ring, I loved it. Like it was, for me, it was like, wow, like I need to keep coming back and do this. So like I talked to Slick more, and I came back for the second class. He got me a little bit more involved then, and then just like the whole element of it. Specifically to my like favorite part, obviously, is everybody shooting on each other at the end. And you've experienced that,
which is very interesting, and that's how Kincaid became. We're gonna keep that. So, what kept you though? Because you went there that one time, and like you're saying, you're like, you felt some guys when they get in there, or ladies, they get scared from the bumping and such that you have to endure in the ring.
Yeah.
But you liked it. You wanted more. So
yeah, you know,
what kept you there though?
I don't know, just like imagining myself, like everybody has their dreams. Like everybody wants to be at
holding the belt.
Yeah, holding the belt, you know, at the end of the stage at WrestleMania, looking down at the ring with thousands of people, you know, screaming at the top of their heads. Whether it's that now, you know, people can think about AEW, they can think about New Japan. Like that's always been my dream. Like I remember being a little kid. Like I play a ton of video games. Like how many times do I play the latest and greatest 2K and set myself up with the best championship title like right away? Like come on, like it's always something I imagine myself doing. I was always like kind of athletic. And I know everybody thinks I'm fat.
Whoa, I would never say that. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but you know, I've always been active. I always tried to be active, and you know, just getting into that ring, and like I imagined myself more and more like, wow, like this is something like I want to keep doing, because I have that dream like from when I was a kid. Like I didn't think it was even possible to start training. Like I remember going to all these indie shows and like hearing that there's these training places all over the place. Just around the same time as this happened, no one ever talked about Slick.
Really?
But you know what? Like I feel like I have the best trainer out there. He's the
That's
smartest.
fantastic.
Psychology-wise, like he teaches you the things that, you know, most guys learn 10 years down the road, and this is like most people's first years are better than guys that have been in the business for 10 years.
And I'll have to continue with that and say that Slick's information and the information and knowledge, they can be considered the same thing, but they're different. And the ribbing that goes on in there is insane.
Oh yeah.
But I see what he does for the guys that are there. Whether it's day 1 or day 1,000 or a day 3,000, whatever their timeline has been, he's always treating everybody with the same amount of respect.
And he doesn't beat around the bush.
That's definitely for
he's
sure.
He's straight with us, and that's what we need. Because you know what? Like he says it all the time. Nobody was telling him the things he was doing wrong. And I'm grateful that he tells us. And then we have people that are on board. Like we have Bobby Ocean, we have Alex Rojas, we have Dan the Man, we have all these veterans that come in and help us. Anytime he gets us a seminar, like it's things like that separate him from most trainers, and that is going to set us up for success. Like look at all the talent we have. Like some of them have trained elsewhere, some of them haven't. Right. And look at how far they've come.
I see that the TOS guys and girls have little by little been spread, whether they're new or a little more veteran within TOS, have kind of spread their wings to multiple companies in our area and far, even being like New York City and stuff.
And that's the goal. And I think that's like, I know we have New Year's resolutions, but I think like as of like my birthday, turning 25, obviously the celebration of privilege, that was one of my biggest matches to date. I think after that day, I was like, all right, well now I'm gonna start branching out and I'm gonna start going further. Like I had a battle royal in Rhode Island. Like I don't mind going back to Rhode Island. I don't mind going to, you know, Western Mass, or you know, like we go to our Boston shows for Bell Time Club or Sister Dojo. Like I don't mind doing those things, and I want to branch out even more. Like if I can find out how to get myself out there more, like I listen to Slick, and you know, whatever we can do to branch out and make ourselves better, like I'll absolutely do. You know,
he always has good advice.
Yes. Absolutely.
It seems, and I've seen it from a third party, if you will, just kind of bystander. I love me some TOS, like, very much, but I never wanted to be the guy that shows up and was a pain in the ass or something like that. But when I do show up, you guys are really open arms with it, and Alex and Slick, they're like, hey man, don't worry about it, you're cool, you're kind of one of us, and I really, I don't know, I gotta say I love both of them for that, because
and look at what you do for us. You help us get more looks, and we just, I hate to like talk about our conversations, but another thing Slick said is, like, look how important it is that we have you and Foggy, post about us, and the Radishes post about us, and that's even more people that see our shit. Because okay, maybe you go to this promotion in Rhode Island, and there's a couple of these wrestlers, which one happens to be the promoter.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Right. You happen to see a promoter that decides to add you on Facebook, or you add on Facebook, and they see your page. Yeah. And then, look at that, it's TJ Howell III throwing his caddy off stage, and he's loving it. That can potentially get me an opportunity, and I'm thankful for that.
And let's continue with that, because there's a very recent scheduling that somebody, I think, might pick up on. And we are talking out in the Rhode Island area. Yeah. And that would be yourself and TJ Phoenix.
AJ Phoenix. Yeah. It's cool.
I'm going to have to edit that. He is going to strangle me. I haven't been up there in so long. I'm mixing up TJ Phoenix and AJ Phoenix up together. He's going to kill me for that.
What a talented kid that is, too. Well, how old is he?
He's in his teens, if I'm not mistaken.
Young. Like, what a talented kid that is.
And he's still going to kill me.
And he shares the same qualities as me, so, I mean, like, you have to like the kid.
Your gimmicks, if you will, are so essentially similar but different. And you two as a tag team and the Radishes are going to melt if they ever see you two together. We know that for a fact.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for the future. Like, I've talked about going back to the Rhode Island area with, some of our guys at the dojo, like Sammy Diaz, Elijah Six, and I'm excited for it, because once we do get those opportunities out there to get our names known, and that just opens the horizon. I actually just saw, like, a post today, like, the one thing I hate in wrestling is I hate the politics between all these, like, promotions. Like, I hate this company, so you can't work for me if you work for them. Like, I hate that. Right. And, like, I appreciate everybody that gives me an opportunity, so I just don't understand it.
I feel the same way as a fan when I see that from a distance, to be honest with you.
And I appreciate anybody that gives me an opportunity, but, if we can all love wrestling together and help each other, like, the wrestling world would be so much better.
It would be amazing. Not that it's not flourishing right now, but imagine if everybody in our area, just in our area alone,
in this area, I feel
could just come together.
Yeah, we're putting on better shows than sometimes is on TV, and that's saying a lot. Like, and I'm just thankful, but like I was saying, like, Bob Evans posted something about, like, how do you avoid local wrestling politics is to branch out and not just be the local wrestler anymore. Something along those lines.
Get away from home was definitely his message.
Yeah, which, as far as I can go, real life kind of gets in the way a little bit, but as I can, absolutely, I'm getting out there. I'm getting out there, and I'm taking the drive wherever the opportunities persist. A little bit more learning on my part is going to be needed on the way of, like, how to take advantage of those opportunities or create those opportunities. But I have great mentors in my corner. So
let's continue with that, because we were talking at TOS one evening, and we sat down and must have talked for maybe 30-40 minutes. It could have been a stirring the pot in its own right. And you talked pretty candidly, and the way you talked, if I was a promoter, and I even told you this right to your face, I was like, you know what? This is the kid with the way you spoke. I'm just a fan, and we talk like friends. So there was nothing to impress by what he had to say, but what you spoke was, you were eloquent on what I think all the workers should be. You want to show up, you want to help with the ring, you want to learn what you can, you want to soak up from the veterans, you want to shake everybody's hands, you just want to be a team player. Right. If it's win, lose, or draw, I'm there as a performer to perform for your company with
your direction in mind.
And that's what it should be. And you know, wherever any promoter wants to put me, whether it's Slick or somebody else, it doesn't matter where I am on the card. Like, I'll do my best to make the best out of that show. You know,
amazing again, because I think if it was more like that, it would be another element that would make it even more flourishing.
Yeah.
You know,
and I'm just having fun. Like, I'm having so much fun as this new gimmick.
You can see it.
This is like complete shoot now, obviously, if you guys haven't told. But like, you know, me as Tyler, you know, I've gone through a lot of like development since I started training, where I was a lot smaller.
Can you tell us your very first gimmick name, please? You guys have to hear this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It was Slick's idea. He loves it. He still loves it.
Go ahead.
Tyler from State Farm.
Tyler from State Farm.
Dare I say how that started?
Yeah, I don't know what you were gonna say. I'm sorry to interrupt.
So remember how I told you I worked right up the street?
Yes, sir.
So part of my work attires, I would wear my polo shirts for work, and I would wear khakis. Those are uniform pants.
Okay.
So anytime me being young and stupid, knowing that I'm going to training later that day, would forget my bag at home, and then show up to training, and then probably no pads, stupidly, but work in khakis and whatever my undershirt was.
Oh my word.
That's how I would train. And once we were getting to the point where I was like getting show ready, he was trying to think of a gimmick for me, and I was stumped. Like, you know what? Like, I sat down and like I did a lot of overthinking. Like, and that's his big thing. Like, don't overthink it. Like, it's gotta be you, but it's gotta be you turned up, and like you gotta have fun with it. So he thought about Tyler from State Farm. Money. Like, I wasn't feeling it because I don't think I was at the right place to enjoy it. Like, I was trying to be more serious.
Right.
Which...
Heel or face?
That was, totally villain.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
100% villain.
Okay.
Like, who likes that guy?
I'm just saying. You never know.
I still have the Under Armour shirt. Yeah. So,
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So, besides that, then, you know, couple roadblocks, you know, a couple injuries. I had shoulder issues from playing baseball, so I remember it was one stupid bump. I took a flapjack like right onto my arm. I told myself that once I was better, you know, I would take things a little bit more serious. Yeah, that's Consuela.
Wow.
Consuela's cooking.
It smells great.
Yeah, it's Mr. Consuela right now.
I'm
but
just saying, it
Consuela,
smells fantastic.
Yeah. But long story short, so I was taking it way too seriously, and I was like getting very, very hard on myself. For like I took a couple breaks for injuries. I'm sorry, there's 2 injuries. The first one, I had lost a lot of my in-ring ability because it was like 6 months. And then the second one was for a couple months too, and like I was always so hard on myself because I knew how good I was in the ring, and like you can hear Alex Rojas probably talking like as we're saying this right now about how like good I was, but like I lost a lot of that, and I kind of like got mad at myself, and like anytime I couldn't do something I was doing before, like I got mad. Like I like I'm not in as good a shape as I was then, but now I'm adapting to my body.
And that's what it is.
It's
evolve with what you have.
Right, exactly. So now, fast forward, I come up with this Slick. Can I do this TJ Johnson gimmick? TJ Johnson has always been my like alter ego in like video games and stuff, because what's Leo Pizzo to video games? Like nobody can voice Leo Pizzo.
So is TJ? Wait, what was his name?
It was TJ Johnson.
TJ Johnson. Was there like your handle or whatever, or emails?
Yeah.
TJ Johnson. There's like 100 of them.
Oh no. They're just the original Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was just like strictly on like, you know, create a character on video games and stuff like that. So it was always that. And then like TJ is Tyler James, like my first name, middle name.
Okay.
So I was just always like thinking like, oh man, like what can I use for a last name? And like TJ Johnson was just like quick and easy, and just my alter ego there. So Slick goes, yeah, we can give it a try, and you know, he wasn't really confident. And how many times do I have to say that he was right in my career? I won't know, but he was right.
I've seen Mr. TJ Johnson.
Yeah.
I've seen him perform a few times.
Yeah,
Might have, as a referee as well. No.
referee was really just Tyler, but that was when I was recovering a little bit.
Okay,
but,
okay.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to mix them all up. Because there's a few.
Yeah, I forgot about refereeing.
Okay.
So T.J. Johnson would wear the purple cutoff.
Yes,
that's purple for
yeah.
Kowalski, of course, and
The eye stuff, right?
Yeah, the eye black, and that's just like me playing softball or playing baseball. Like that's how I normally look. Obviously, besides the regular jersey.
Yeah.
So once I hurt my shoulder after being T.J. Johnson, I went down again, and then I remember having a conversation with Slick about redoing this gimmick and being more fun. We were talking about a privilege, of course. In the last 30 minutes that we stay at the JoJo, past when we're supposed to, when we're shooting the shits.
That's when it all comes out.
Yeah, that's when it all comes out. That's when the creativity flows. He goes, yeah, you need to be something privileged, or I forget what the words was, but he insinuated I need to be something privileged, and I laughed at it, and I was like, wait, yeah, and like I said, he was right once again, because now I'm having more fun with this. So with the creativity of Alex. Alex has created half the things that I do, at least. Dan the Man credited me with the name, so.
Okay. So this is an army that's created.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They're all I feel like it was only slightly me. The only thing that was me was avoiding the fact that Slick wanted me to come out with a little dog in a bag, and deciding to be a modern day douchebag instead. Like a
rodeo drive kind of dude with a little chihuahua.
A little chihuahua, and I'm glad I didn't do that. That's the one thing that I'm glad about.
I'll go with you on that.
But on the other hand, they all steered me in the right direction of things I should do, things that I said impromptu during a training match that stuck. My dad is gonna be so pissed was an impromptu thing that I took right before a comeback. I remember just going for a splash, and I hit that line, and something's good when Slick laughs his head off.
Oh man, he does. Yeah.
So yeah, from then on, he was like, "You need to stick with that. That's money." So I just stuck with it, and Dan the Man coming up with the name with me. He said Howell because I didn't think about it, but I watched Gilligan's Island 1,000 times before. That the rich guy Thurston Howell III.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's not only catering to the crowd in two ways, because the older crowd will get it,
absolutely,
and the younger crowd will just know the name.
That was my go-to, was a Gilligan's Island reference.
Yeah, exactly, and the younger kids see the douchebag part of me, the modern day douchebag, the guy that sits on his dad's yacht all day and plays video games inside while he should be enjoying the beautiful weather. Meanwhile, the older people see that name and they're just undeniable. I'm sorry, Lone Survivor. I remember coming out for the 6-man, and then there was a section of fans screaming Gilligan's Island at me. That's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And they may think the opposite, but that's exactly the point of it. But yeah, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing probably the most fun thing in wrestling I've been doing.
You would have probably moved on to Evolve again if it wasn't taking it the way it is, I would imagine, right?
And some people know who they are going to be in the beginning. Elijah Six, that was quick and
That's
easy.
right there.
Right. Ty Shine, it took him a little bit. I remember when we were going over that, and that was immediately money.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has their turn, Caddy, even Caddy, he was a referee. We weren't sure what we were doing. He wants to be his purge.
Look at that face. I knew that was coming.
Stop purging behind my back.
I seen that. I seen that.
So now he's my caddy. So we all kind of evolve in a way, and I'm just focused on having more fun with it and being productive at the same time, because how many times have I told you, Don Kincaid, I've never won a match. I've been doing this this new gimmick since September, and even the previous gimmicks do not have a win. And I truly feel like I'm okay with it, because what is a win in someone's eyes? Is it pinning 1, 2, 3 and they really don't care about me, or is it stealing the show and having people remember your name,
taking the fans and just sucking them right in?
Yeah.
That's what you are on the path to continue that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going for. A lot of hard work is going to be involved, obviously, and a lot of tweaking some things for the better.
Mm-hmm.
The character in general, it's easily thrown together. Like my gear is salmon shorts, shark socks. I just incorporated my shark tights, you know, and that's for special occasions. I have another special surprise that no one knows about yet. I think I only showed you.
I have seen,
Yeah.
and I will never disclose.
Yeah, I only showed Don Kincaid.
It kind of finishes the ensemble, if you will.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, then.
But I haven't seen the tights though.
No.
I mean, I've seen a picture of them.
No, the shark tights were the one I wore on the
I
leg.
got you. Yes, I got you.
So, you know, I have a few things here and there. I mean, eventually getting rid of the shorts and having full tights, like custom, is going to be the idea. But,
that's what, because I wanted to ask you about your clothing and your theme song preference. Am I taking a Miami Vice kind of vibe from that or something, or like because of the colors you wear now and the song, it kind of brings a Miami Vice kind of weird feel to it. I don't dig it. I think TJ could have a much better song, in my opinion.
But that also comes from another lovely session of shooting the shits at the end of a TOS training session.
Okay.
By going, hey Alex, what's the douchiest song you ever heard in your life? Anything Phil Collins.
Right, just like that?
Yeah, he's also steered me in other directions of other songs, but nothing has hit better than the beat drop in the airtime. Not playing it from the beginning.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yes, you cannot do that.
Yeah, don't do that. When the beat drops, that's the douchiest thing I've ever heard.
And yeah, because I mean, we're just gonna stare at the stupid curtain and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Yeah. So let's get back to the attire.
Yeah.
Your goal is to like be in a full one-piece singlet, or were you looking to go with this?
You know, I've thought about that, and I was thinking about going to a singlet, but having still long pants, because you know I feel like the hairy legs thing is Jabroni's thing, and I don't want to take away from him.
Okay.
And I'm Italian, so it's very hairy.
It's very hairy
and
very scary.
Yeah, I'm not shaving these bad boys yet. Otherwise, yeah, I feel like I'll stick with the long tights. You know, kind of keep the creativity, and you know, hopefully find a design eventually. Like if I steer away from the shorts, I think doing the John Cena thing with the shorts was actually pretty easy, because that, you know, saves money for tights.
And
because,
bam.
you know, not everybody could be privileged in real life, and
there was a show at Bell Time, and I was listening to the commentating as I didn't watch it live. They had it on their YouTube.
Yep.
And you came out. It was like the 6-man scramble thing or something, or a handcuff thing, or I forget what you were doing over there, right?
Yeah, that was Malden or oh my gosh, it was like the Hell in a Cell, but they handcuffed us.
Yes.
Wow.
And it was like 6 of you, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Now, if you listen back to that footage, when you came out, and this is exactly why I was watching the footage of this said match, because there was so many TOS guys in this match. El Jabroni, El Jabroni was in that match.
4 of us to be exact.
The commentator says, this kid is the only guy that could ever pull off those salmon shorts.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that commentary, because it was so directed as you came walking out and your song hit.
Yeah.
So what I'm driving at is your character that you've evolved into, TJ Howell III, which again, you seem to be having a lot of fun.
Always.
Is giving the fans that same kind of energy and fun. And I hope you're seeing it in little spurts as you do the shows, because just listening to a commentator say that, for me,
that was early stages of TJ.
And I got that. But for me as a fan, and as I got a little closer to the TOS dojo, that makes me feel so good for Tyler, the person, trying to get this character, this person, this persona to where he wants it. And I just hope you're having as much fun as you say you are, because we're having a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And you know what? Like every show I go to, whether it's a Friday night fight, or if it's a training day, or if it's one of our big shows, or if it's, you know, Bell Time Club, you know, UFO, or wherever I may be working, Battlefront gave me a huge opportunity.
That was some fun
to work with an ECW legend.
That was some fun.
With one of my closest guys at the dojo, Ryan Frost. Like, come on.
And we got to see you get decimated, and we also got to see Slade Dangerfield get super kicked right in the face, and I even made a gif of it. It was beautiful.
If I remember correctly, I didn't actually get decimated.
Decimated, schmestimated. I mean, it is.
He pulled me by the bun and low blow.
Hey, that's a decimation to me.